Hey everyone, AstroNerdBoy here. Okay, a ton of people have been asking me for my thoughts on the Armiger Entertainment new Kickstarter project for Tenchi Galaxy. Now that I have some free time from work and things have played out a bit more, I will do that. So, for those who don't know, Armiger Entertainment are a group of Tenchi fans who are not really fans of Kajishima Sensei, who created the original Tenchi Muyo. And since 2014, when Tenchi Muyo came out, the only other Tenchi products to come out in anime have all been from Kajishima Sensei, and he continues to publish GXP novels in Japan as well as a couple of doujinshi every year at Comic Cat. So in 2004, these guys, some of them, created Armiger Entertainment LLC with the goal of getting the American Tenchi comic book crowdfunded and republished. Now, I could be wrong here, but I believe that Robert Woodhead, the former head of Animego, got them in contact with folks at AIC. Eventually, though, when they made contact with AIC, they went through the legal process of getting the rights to republish the American comic book series. They also reached out to series creator Kajishima Sensei, and he gave his blessing. And of course, they had to go to him because he is also a rights holder now. All the new stuff that comes out that he creates, he is the rights owner, not AIC. The rights issues in Japan are pretty complicated, but Armiger went through all the legal processes, as far as I can tell, and navigated these waters, and ta-da, they got the license. And so for that initial Kickstarter, they started off with a $20,000 goal. They easily met that. Then they raised the goal to $50,000. They easily met that. They made $159,000 or more dollars in their Kickstarter. So that's no small accomplishment, especially for a comic book that it was ran for 6 episodes in America. And for me personally, I found it kind of cringe and kind of bad. But for some people, it's good enough. And I know for Japanese Tenchi fans, I don't think most of them were even aware of it. And so it was something that they could add to their collections. So now, naturally, with this kind of a success, the guys at Armiger could go with their true goal and dream, which was to create a new Tenchi anime that's not based off of Kajishima Sensei's continuity. And thus we have the Tenchi Galaxy anime pilot Kickstarter. So as we can see, the goal is $400,000. They are at $355,000 and growing. This has grown as I've been recording the video, and this is only not even 2 full days in. They're going to hit 400,000. That's not even a question. And they have some stretch goals, which, as we can see here, the first one is the Japanese language track, the 4K upgrade, and a making of documentary. Now, my own prediction, they're going to make 500,000 for sure. They're going to probably do well more than that. It wouldn't surprise me if they hit 750,000. It just, that's a lot. I realize that's a ton. It just wouldn't surprise me, especially if they get a huge influx of Japanese supporters. But we'll see, though. We'll see. It just wouldn't surprise me. I know the lack of the Japanese audio had been an initial concern out of Japan, but once that was addressed as a stretch goal, then all the Japanese fandom have been quite overwhelmingly supportive of this, are looking forward to getting this. And hopefully they can get the rest of the surviving Seiyu for a Japanese audio track. Now, one thing I find interesting is that they're calling this a spiritual successor to the Tenchi Muyo TV series. And interestingly enough, they do not mention Tenchi Universe anywhere in this deal. Now, why is that? I suspect that even though they have the rights to do their Tenchi Galaxy title, they probably do not have license to use the Tenchi Universe title. That's my speculation. Because nowhere in here do they ever talk about Tenchi Universe. It's a TV series. It's the sequel to a TV series. It's a spiritual successor to the TV series. So I suspect that this has to be a new continuity in the already plethora of Tenchi continuities out there. So Now, how they address it in one episode, I don't know. Are they going to expect people to just have watched Tenchi Universe? I don't know. I do find it interesting that they talk about this here. Many years ago, Tenchi Muyo director Hiroshi Negishi wrote a draft for a would-be sequel to his beloved TV series. It has never seen the light of day until now. Now, this puzzles me because Negishi-sensei he did Tenchi Universe, and then he did the Tenchi Muyo and Love movie, which is in the Tenchi Universe continuity. He did the Tenchi Forever movie, which was also in the Tenchi Universe continuity. And then he wrote a manga called Eternal something. Let me look that up. Is Eternal Memory, which runs from Sasami's point of view with Tenchi Forever. Now, when Negishi-sensei did his I, Tenchi Muyo, there was a lot of people who thought, wow, this would be set in the Tenchi Muyo universe. Scratch that, Tenchi Universe continuity. I can't speak, and I don't have time to edit. Sorry about that. But in fact, I, Tenchi Muyo was another continuity. So I don't know why he would not have been allowed to do another sequel to Tenchi Universe unless there was, again, another rights issue where he just couldn't do it. But AIC still had control, as I understand it, and are the rights holders of I, Tenchi Muyo. So I don't know. There may be complications due to Pioneer, Genion. I don't know. It's all kind of confusing, and I doubt we get more information than what we have now. But regardless, this is going to be a new continuity. So, and also, by the way, for those who don't know, Negishi-sensei also did the last canon Tenchi titled GXP Paradise Starting from Kajishima-sensei. So he was the director of that. So, which I felt was kind of an improvement over the previous ones, but other than you still need to do homework. Now, another question I've been asked a lot of is whether or not this project from Armiger will stop the Tenchi Muyo stuff from coming out from Kajishima-sensei. And as far as I can tell, no, it will not. Kajishima-sensei has his rights, and as far as I understand it, he can still do whatever he wants to do with his creations. I suspect, though, considering what kind of a person he is, he's not going to try to step on Armiger's toes here with AIC in their creation. But, he may use the success of this project to say, hey, there's still fandom out there for Tenchi. Just put out another OVA or whatever. So I don't know if that will happen. I'm just saying that's how I understand it from what I've been able to research. So we'll see what happens there. Now, my only real complaint about Armiger is that I don't understand why, these PDF files are said out of stock. You cannot be out of stock for a digital release, and you'd think that they'd want continued revenue, especially now. They're getting, granted, the Kickstarter, I get it. The Kickstarter's getting a lot of money, but this would be additional revenue for something they've already licensed. So I'm not sure why they're not continuing to sell at least the digital versions of the comic book. It doesn't make sense to me, especially since it would be an ongoing revenue generator for their company, which could only help them in any future endeavors that they want to do. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. But what I will say is that, hey, it's easy to complain about things that suck. Eric July put his money where his mouth is and did his own comic books, and Armiger putting their money where their mouth is, and they're going to create a new Tenchi anime, and very likely will not only hit their goals and beyond, but convince AIC with a big bag of cash to say, hey, create a new Tenchi TV series. So, and I'm sure fans in Japan will be ecstatic to see another Tenchi TV series if one comes out. So my hat's off to Armiger for this success. Congratulations. It's a little early, but yeah, I have no doubt they'll make it, and I wish them the best. That's my thoughts. I wish we could see some more properly animated, like the True Tenchi Muyo novels, the GXP novels, and make it so that the anime titles don't require so much homework. But hey, that's another video. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and all that other stuff. And what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. We'll see you in the next video.